Removal of fuel subsidy and the subsequent hoarding of food items and other essential commodities by traders has led to the hike in food prices in the country. Federal and state governments are taking measures to alleviate the situation. What is being done in Sokoto State and what are the expected outcomes? This and more on Panorama this afternoon, coming to you from the Sokoto Network Center. I am Asmau Habibu Shagari. The ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government has lifted various sanctions on Niger and other AREN members on what is called humanitarian ground. The decision was part of the resolutions of the authority's extraordinary session on the sub-regional peace, political and security held in Abuja. State House correspondent reports.
ECOWAS has been facing a trying moments lately. 3 founding members, Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, declared intent to depart from the bloc. It was a counter-reaction to various sanctions placed by the ECOWAS on Niger, the latest country where military seized power unconstitutionally. Unprecedented and perhaps existential as it is for the sub-regional body, the declaration makes for a desperate moment, calling for a desperate measure.
We must approach these issues with a sense of unity and commitment to the well-being of our people. Permit me to say that the complexity of the issues at hand necessitate a comprehensive and collaborative approach. Accordingly, it is incumbent upon also to engage in constructive dialogue, exercise prudent judgment, and work collectively towards finding enduring solutions that will lead to a sustainable peace, security, as well as political stability in our region.
About 2 hours of meeting behind closed doors considered the humanitarian perspectives and the recent intervention of a founding father of a community, General Yakubu Gowon, on the differences. But more important are the security and other implications of a potential crack on the bloc and the various integration objectives it stands for.
The withdrawal of the 3 member states could result in the halt or the suspension of all ECOWAS projects and programs worth more than $500 million. The authority notes that the withdrawal will not only require the closure of 4 regional entities in Burkina Faso, 2 regional bodies in Mali, and 1 regional office in Niger. It will also affect the job security of some 130 ECOWAS staff who are citizens of the 3 countries.
Consequently, various sanctions, which include closure of air and land borders against Niger, freezing of its assets, travel ban on the junta, as well as commercial transactions, are to be lifted immediately. It is based on what ECOWAS calls humanitarian considerations.
The authority calls for the immediate release of His Excellency Mohamed Bazoum, former President of the Republic of Niger. The authority also calls on the transition authorities in Niger to provide an acceptable transition timetable to constitutional order. The authority has also instructed the President of the Commission to invite Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, and Guinea to attend technical and consultative meetings of ECOWAS, as well as all security-related meetings.
While expecting the three dissenting members to reconsider their decision, ECOWAS is also to broaden its outreach to include the African Union and others in pursuit of further dialogue and negotiation. From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
The Senators Forum has commended ECOWAS leaders, in particular President Bola Tinubu, for lifting sanctions imposed on Niger, noting that the decision shows commitment of the bloc to regional stability, cooperation, and respect for human rights. The forum is confident that the decision serves as an example for resolving issues through dialogue and diplomacy, and advise regional stakeholders to pursue peaceful solutions to address concerns for progress and development. In a statement, spokesman of the forum, Senator Kao Sumaila, urges the government of Niger to hasten the process of returning to democratic governance. The forum expresses solidarity with ECOWAS in restoring democracy and rule of law in Niger and other West African countries. The process of release of the 42,000 metric tons of assorted food items as directed by the President is underway. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says the grains are being bagged before handing over to the National Emergency Management Agency for distribution to vulnerable Nigerians. Musa Baba Aliyu has details.
The government has stored 51,000 metric tons of assorted food in silos across the country. Out of the number, the President directed that 42,000 metric tons be released to cushion the effects of inflation, with the poor and the needy as major targets. Apart from cassava flakes, also known as gari, which is already bagged, grains are being packaged in sacks for easy distribution. And here, officials of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security are carrying out the exercise.
You can see the number of bags that are well stacked. 9 trucks on ground already.
Rice is also on the food items to be distributed, and Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says 60,000 metric tons will be purchased by the federal government from mega rice millers. And the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security says government intervention is already having positive impacts, with the price of produce gradually dropping across the country. In the area of crop production, he says government is strengthening food production by boosting dry season farming under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme, Agro Pockets. The first phase focuses on the cultivation of wheat across 15 wheat-producing states, covering 118,657 hectares and involving 107,429 farmers. Phase 2 of the dry season farming will commence soon across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT.
The farmer to pay half a bag of fertilizer and he gets 3 bags. That is to say, NAGS is paying 1.5 bags, and also the farmer pays half bag, and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture through the intervention is paying 1 bag. And all these items that I'm talking about also includes the agrochemicals, and seeds is free. All seeds, be it wheat, maize or rice or cassava, are all free.
Additionally, solar-powered water pumps for irrigation provided by the federal government are being deployed to aid the upcoming phase of the program. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Panorama continues in a moment. Please stay.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Traders have over the years been engaging in buying foodstuff during harvest to hold and sell when it is out of season at a higher price. This practice has made the current food scarcity in Sokoto more pronounced. What is being done to tackle this situation? Bashir Ibrahim Nababa has the report.
In recent months, Nigerians have witnessed skyrocketing in the prices of food items and essential commodities. Prices of essential commodities in the Nigerian markets had tripled, and making it difficult for low-income earners to afford basic food items, thereby increasing the level of poverty in the country. In Sokoto State, like in other cities of the Federation, even traders are grumbling over the soaring prices of grains, which they attribute to the removal of fuel subsidy, mandatory hoarding of food items and other essential commodities by traders. The traders appeal to the federal government to restore fuel subsidy and address banditry to improve the country's economy and food security.
Shantalina abin da muka sai na kaura na Malam Garba naira 123 in kuma ta kai Jamila 125. Shantali ana samu ne kwano 38-39.
To gaskiya daga lehen manya ne saboda wani kana iya gane yana iya sayan buhu 500 he da haka ma sai ya kai su to ya aje. Marmakon mu masu dan kasa mu dan samu wani abu sai kaga ko da muka sayowa kuma mu aka ganin lehimin mu da ka sai da kwana kuma buhon ba ciko gare su ba.
Allah ya kaddara gwamnati ta taimaka an ka samu sassaki daga ga mai to in Allah ya so al'amura za su daidaito. Sannan dan taimaka ma kananan yan kasuwa da kananan manoma. Sannan abu na gaba da zaran ba a samu tsaro ba wallahi ko an so a yi noma ba za a iya shi ba.
As part of efforts to check hoarding of grains such as maize, rice, and other essential commodities, Sokoto State government has set up a task force on hoarding and smuggling of food items. The task force is given the mandate to prosecute defaulters.
To identify all hoarding facilities and ensure foodstuff are released and sold to the public at controlled price. To identify hoarders and smugglers and take appropriate action against them.
The Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Aliu also summoned a stakeholders meeting to discuss the way out of the misery created by the high cost of living.
We have recently organized a seminar with traders, and our ulamas preached to them on the position of Islam on hoarding of food items, especially during the times of need.
Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar at the meeting said it is a wise decision, called on Nigerians to fear Allah in all their dealings. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
And now to our discussion segment, which is on efforts made by Sokoto State government to mitigate the current hike in prices of food and other essential commodities. And I have with me in the studios Dr. Bashir Muhammad Achida, who is the economic advisor to Sokoto State government. Doctor, you're welcome to Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me.
That prices of food and other essential commodities are high is not new. So the question here is, what is the action plan to tackle this situation in Sokoto State?
As you have heard from the report, the executive governor has set up an anti-smuggling and hoarding committee or a task force, which is responsible for checking this illicit activity. We have observed that some of these scarcity are artificial because some members of the society or businessmen are now engaged into the activity of hoarding some of these important commodities. And then also because of the now the situation that the currency is in, now a lot of them now are engaged in exporting these commodities to our neighboring countries. So with that, the government has set up a committee. But before doing that, the state government also has called for a sensitization meeting, as said by the executive governor. All the stakeholders were invited, and then all Islamic scholars were there. Every party was there. We sensitized them. We told them what to do, and they should fear of God. This is time of the needs that they should also contribute their own quota in ensuring that the state is also kind of has some sense of relief. And then the consultation meeting, which was invited by the governor, which was chaired by him. The Sultan was there. All other stakeholders were invited, and then also we heard from them and the measures to be taken by the government. This is also very important. And remember, during the week also, the executive governor have ordered a set of a committee which will review and also verify all gratuities for about 9 years, from 2015 to 2024. This all done in order to push money into the hands of people and the vulnerable groups. And remember also, the state government have kind of shared fertilizer free of charge to farmers at the rural areas, and also grains were purchased and were given to the disabled in the state. So all this is done in order to have some kind of relief. And then the state governor also at the consultation meeting had made mention that the civil servant also welfare is going to be checked in and what have you. These are temporary measures. For the long-term measures, we are working on a very important and very critical model of agriculture. You know, we are very, very lucky as a state. We have that advantage of, we have rivers, we have dams, and that is a really very important advantage. The only problem we are having is the insecurity, which also the government have invested a lot of money into, and we have started seeing the gains. I know that in the next rainy season, we will see a lot of improvement in terms of production, because the problem has been people who were providing these food have become now consumers because they can no longer go to farms. But I think the effort of the state government is paying off, because the security officers now, day and night, are really working, and they are ensuring stability in some of these farming areas. And also with the establishment of the state security guard, community guard, I think it will go a long way in providing stability. And then the government can come in order to modernize the agricultural sector. We have a plan, which I told you we are working in, and we'll make sure that that plans work. We leverage on this river, we have the dams. And remember, the also state government is working with the World Bank on the issue of Lugu Dam, which is a very important irrigation area, which will, in order to boost some of these farming activities. So we are doing a lot. There are in fact immediate things we are doing, which has to do also with the most vulnerable part of people are those disabled, who are very critical at this moment. They receive most of the hits. So the state government, as we are aware, have been paying the allowances to them, which has also been increased, and I think that also has helped to improve their lives. So there are a lot we are doing in terms of support to the vulnerable groups, but I'm telling you that inshallah very soon, also with the assistance that I had from the report of the federal government, some of these things will reduce. And now, since the task force has started working, in fact, they have not even started working seriously, but the prices also, we have seen the impact in the market. So this is very important, and this is what we are doing.
Okay.
As a government.
Records show that a forum was initiated which brought together Islamic clerics and traders. So what is it meant to achieve?
You see, as a government, we think that democracy, the hallmark of democracy is engagement. The most important aspect is to engage the people first, and we brought them under one roof to know what are the problems, what are really the problem from them. Because all we're hearing is that people are saying that these businessmen and women are engaged in this activity or skyrocketing of prices. It's not just natural, it's just artificial. But now when we brought them together, we also had a lot from them. It happens that they feel even those who are holding these commodities are not even businessmen themselves, because they say they have small capital base. So there's no way, they don't even have enough capital to hold these items. Some of them are even clamoring that this is being foiled by corruption. People who have stolen money and they have nowhere to take it, they are buying grains and they are stocking. And some of these things was what necessitated the state government of coming out with this task force. You know, that consultation meeting, or sensitization meeting was held before the committee was set up. So it is the outcome of that. We have had a lot of things that are happening, and then people who feel that exporting these items will get them a lot of profit, a lot of money by exporting it outside the country. Also, we are working towards that to ensure that you have to be self-sufficient. We are enlightening them that, look, as a businessman, because predominantly this is an Islamic state, you should know that you have the responsibility of ensuring the welfare of your community before even going anywhere. So we invited clerics to draw their attention of taking their attention away from profiteering and talking about welfare of the people so that they get the benefit of God from it.
Okay, as a follow-up, the state governor has constituted a committee on hoarding and other related matters. What is the mandate of the committee?
So the mandate is to curtail the illicit smuggling of food items, and also to check, because you see, this is a very dangerous situation for us to have members of the community, the citizens, hoarding the food and creating artificial scarcity, and which has direct effects on the well-being of the community. No government will sit down and watch the citizens suffering because of this scarcity. So now the mandate is to go out and make sure that this hoarding also is in a way kind of curtail. And then also the export that is happening. There is a lot of trucks of goods that are moving outside the state through Niger and other to Mali and other part of the West African part of West Africa. So also this community has the mandate to curtail and also make sure that some of those culprits are prosecuted necessarily, because that's what that involves a lot of community members of the security are there, judiciary, politicians, and what have you. So that is the main mandate, to ensure that the illicit export and also hoarding of these food grains, in particular food items, is in a way curtailed. Yes.
So how effective has have these measures been?
Alhamdulillah, I would say it has been positive and fruitful, because if you go to the market before the setting up of the committee and the consultation meeting, you see that the prices have a little dropped down. So we believe that as the committee continues to work, we expect that there will be more results, and such result, by God willing, we will see the impact. And not only that, the state government also, Ramadan is approaching. We are making also a very serious arrangement through the Ministry of Religious Affairs, how to ensure that also the state government distribute grains and also provide feeding during Ramadan. So the government also, apart from this particular activity, we are also engaged in some other activities that will cushion some of the negative effects of this scarcity.
Yes. Okay, Doctor, can you expatiate on the positive change that this result of the measures taken?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that the prices, that's one, and then the availability. These prices is skyrocketing because of the competition that is there. A lot of people are bringing huge sum of money to buy these food items from the local markets and then export them to Niger. Now, if we curtail that export, you will see that now those food will be available for our people to buy, and now increased supply of that goods in the market, or availability, will drastically reduce the price. That is number one. Number two, you will see that now the attention of people now will be on the community, about providing welfare, not about profiteering. That's why this measure is very important. So many of them, after coming after the sensitization meeting, they came out saying that yes, we understood that there are problems, and we are also coming out to give our own support. So that has really oriented people and the businessmen and women around that yes, it is time for us now to give our best to the state and also to contribute our own quota in ensuring that there's stability, and also this kind of skyrocketing pricing also is in a way curtailed. Yes.
Okay, Doctor, in a nutshell, what is your message to the government and the people of Sokoto State and Nigeria?
Yeah, I said the message to the government. I'm part of the government, so I think we have our own message and we are working towards it. But I think the people should first and foremost fear Allah and understand that we are in a critical condition. People have to be patriotic. As a country and as countrymen, I think we need to be patriotic and to be our brothers' keepers. I don't know, people are taking advantage of situations. You fear that because of this, even the dollars caricature you are hearing are all artificial. We must see that this country as our own, and also see that every one of us should have a kind of role to play in ensuring that this country remains stable.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid that is all we can take for now. We thank you so much for having time to come to Panorama and shed more light on this issue. And that has been Dr. Bashir Muhammad Achida, Economic Advisor to Sokoto State Governor, talking to us on efforts made by Sokoto State Government to mitigate the current hike in prices of food and other essential commodities. Up next is Sports Update with Suleiman Musa as guide.
We begin with football.